Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, May 31st, 2024, rounding out the month of May here. Let's go ahead and jump on back to yesterday and see what happened here. Now, we talked about expecting the market to continue to push lower. I didn't have anything on my charts that were hinting for a bounce coming into the open yesterday. And so let's take a look at what happened here. They did push to lower lows for the day, right? We were in it was a bearish day. So the expectation for a push lower is what we got, but it wasn't quite just a straight line down. So the market opened, we were coming in to the open from a bounce, but I did warn everybody that I just didn't have enough clues that gave me confidence that this was actually going to break out to the upside. So was expecting lower. Bulls pushed in the pre-market, came right to our roadmap level and just could not break through. And here you can see this vertical line is the New York Open. And for a while there, the Bulls just had a lot of trouble right at our scaffolding level. Not surprising, right? And just kind of petered out. And then we got the nice pullback. So out of the open there, trouble right at the roadmap level. Whoops. And then pulled back, and you did have some opportunities to buy the pullbacks to the VWAP here. You would have made 5, 6, 7, 8 points to the upside if you did that. You could have actually tried and shorting the back end of the close of the day before there. You could have got a couple little scalps throughout the open here. But the big plays really started as we started to break lower. And when it broke lower, it was a little bit of a fake out because it only got so far and then came right back up. So once we started to break lower, we started to get our crossover, we started to get price down below VWAP. You did get that great opportunity as price retraced right back into the 200 moving average here. It was also the VWAP, and you could have grabbed a continuation to the downside in the direction of the expected move for the day, in the direction of the moving averages and the VWAP, right? So get down below it, get short. You would have actually gotten yourself a really healthy 10-point push right down to the next expected support level, which is the next roadmap level on our charts. So kind of got beautiful little hold off the scaffolding, got below the VWAP and the 200, held that, and then we came right into our next expected support, held that. There's another tag at the back end of the 200 in 2 instances here where you still could have made another 5 points or more to the downside here. However, that was just that little peak below and bounce, right? So we get a test of the expected support level, a peek through it, and then we try and break back out to the upside. And then, like I said, it was tricky because at that moment, we came into a roadmap level, we were defending, making a higher low compared to the overnight low, and it was starting to break back out through VWAP. So it started to look like maybe that was as far as the pullback was going to get. And as you can see on the way back up here, some great little opportunities, pull back right to the holy orange power level to the tick, got through it, came right to the previous daily low, held the VWAP there for an attempt. Could have tried a trade there, just didn't get to quite to where our targets would want to get to. But on that pullback there's the opposite, the inverse of shorting the market once we get below the 200. Now as it broke higher, we got back through VWAP, we got our crossover to the upside. You had that great opportunity to buy the 200 with very limited risk and go ahead and get in on this, let's just say 15-point pop. So if you got in there, should have easily grabbed 10, 15 points to the upside. And if you were still waiting for things to get clearer, it did continue to push to new highs and then pull back and come right to the 200 and the VWAP again. And from there, you got yourself probably a nice 10-point pop, 11, 12-point pop, and even kind of stair-stepped its whole way up from this roadmap level to the holy orange power level to these intermediary dynamic levels, right? Held those, then it held previous daily low, then it held previous daily close, quite literally, and then one tick, 2 ticks shy of the roadmap level, and quite literally just kind of stepped up every level that we have on the chart, almost to the tick. And then finally we get the big sell-off of the day. And in this sell-off, a whole bunch of beautiful opportunities to get short in the market. There's your crossover. Here's the first test and break below VWAP. There is the first test to the 200 once that scenario played out. And then you got another test, and then you just missed out here. So there were some great opportunities to get in short once we made the high of the day there. And again, I mean, just almost quite literally here, held the back end of the previous daily close, held the back end of the previous daily low, held the back end of VWAP and the 200, right? And just kind of aggressively sold off. So there were some great opportunities in here to get short. You could have shorted the FMA, could have shorted the back end of the 200 or the VWAP here and captured a 10, 20, 30 point push down. And then right at the end of the day, we bounced kind of an outlier here. We didn't quite have a level there, but came right down and got a nice bounce at the end of the day, only to get another rejection off of our roadmap levels and get a little pullback there. So there were some great opportunities to short the market going into the end of the day. There were some great opportunities to buy the market when it was recovering from this roadmap level down here. Let's get some of this writing off of here. Great opportunities to buy, again, pullbacks to these textbook setups to get long. And then out of the open here, once price started to fail from the first expected resistance with a bearish bias, you got this great opportunity to get short on the kiss of the 200 and VWAP. So there were some great things, and even out of the open here, you could have bought the VWAP with nearly zero risk and got yourself a nice 5, 6, 7 point bounce. So that brings us here into the overnight market. Market pulled back, tried to get through the overnight low, as you can see here. Once the market opened, held the back end of the previous daily close, held the back end of that roadmap level, held the back end, and actually that wasn't on the chart at the time, so let's move that over there. Held the back end of the roadmap level, held the back end of the VWAP, and then just could not stay below the previous daily low, and then kind of parried back and forth. And interestingly enough, inside of this overnight chop, the major resistance here from the open, the scaffolding level at 47, right? And then once it got above it, it even tried to come up and hold on 2 tests there and then come right down below it again. So even inside all this chop, the major resistance was our roadmap level here. And then on the pullback, they held the roadmap level at 32. It ducked down maybe 2 points or a little less than 2 points. And now here we are coming into the open. And this was right at 7:30 here. We had a news drop and we got a nice little spike right up. And this is current price right now. And what do you know? They made it all the way up and found their resistance for 4 little micro tests, nearly to the tick of our roadmap level back at 70 again. So pretty good stuff if you ask me. Let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames and see what the charts have to say to finish out the month of May.